Well, hi again. We continue where we have left, and now I'm inverting the formula. And basically, when you invert the formula, actually you got the actual meaning of the present value. Uh, so when we earn $1,000, when we are going to earn $1,000 in 1 year, this $1,000 is worth to us today 1,000 over $1.25. So it is how I give value to that future income. Similarly, for $1,000 in 2 years is worth this amount. $1,000 in 3 years is worth this amount. $1,000 in 9 years is worth this amount. So present value of any future income, which is called YN, here N represents the year in which I earn it, is called YN divided by 1 plus R in parentheses with the power N. So when I have multiple income stream, for example, I earn these $1,000 for 3 different years, I can get the present value of the income I will get in 3 successive years. How can I do that? For each year, for the first year, for each year basically, I might divide the income I got in that year to the 1 plus the interest rate over, with the power, which is equal to year. For example, for first year, the income I earn in the first year divided by 1.5 over 1. In the second year, the income I earn in the second year divided by 1.5 over 2 with the power 2. With the power 2, basically. So, I can write, basically, when I, for example, earn that income for 3 years, the basic calculation I made here, which is this one, in this form. This means summation. So I sum up yt over 1 over 5 with the power t for all values of t from 1 to 3. So I first put 1 in place of t, y1 divided by 1 over 5 with the power 1, get the value, and then sum it up with for the case when t becomes 2, and then sum the two terms I have calculated before with the value of this term when I put instead of t 3. If I had 100, I would sum up 100 different terms for all potential values of t from 1 to 100, of course. Natural numbers. I sum up for the natural numbers. Using this method, for example, I can find also the income of a person, the value of the income of a person he will get every year for example, 20 years. For example, let's say we have a person who will get a $20,000 rent every year. And let's say he will start to get this income this year, right today. But he will continue to get this income for 20 years, starting with this year. So he will get for 21 years, and he assumes to live no longer than 20 years. So he just cares the income he will get for the next 20 years, or she, the person. This is the rent amount, yearly rent amount. We assume that we won't get rent monthly but yearly in this case. And let's write the interest rate of this person, which is, let's say, 0.25%. So for every year, basically, I need to take the income and I need to fix it. I'm sorry. to put dollar signs basically before and after C. I write C5, which represents this quantity rent, and then that means actually that $20,000 will be fixed basically. As we move down, it won't go down and take value from this cell basically. And then we should divide it to 1 plus the interest rate. Interest rate itself will be fixed. So we should put dollar signs also here. But we will take the power of this, and the power will be the number of years. Of course, this should be comma. So I can find here the value of rent I got in different years. For example, the value of rent I will get in the 10th year is today $2,150. The value of rent I will get in 20 years is $230. The value of rent I will get immediately is, of course, $20,000 since I get it today anyway. So the value of all rent, this is just summing, I will get in 20 years from today up to the end of 20 years is for me $99,077 approximately. So this is the present value of the income I will get in next 20 years today, which means if people give me this more than this amount, I will rather get that amount rather than getting every year $20,000 as rent. Of course, if my interest rate increases, then future income becomes less valuable. For example, if this becomes 0.5, in that case, this becomes less valuable because, now I need more money to replace today's income, which means I'm willing to accept less money to get that money today instead of getting 1 year later, which means the value of the money I will get in every successive year is now worth much less. For example, the money I will get in year 20 is just worth for me $6. I will say rather give me $7 than $20,000 in 20 years. Anyway, let's continue. Well, value of education. How does this is related to the value of education? So the whole idea of value of education is I compare, and here we assume education doesn't give us any utility. When we are comparing jobs, the status of jobs are not important for us. We don't compare the working conditions. We rather take into account income we got in different jobs, and when we are giving value to the education, we compare the income we will get with education and without education. And here we compare the income we will get when we are getting without education. That's the income we will get as a high school graduate. Why we do that? Because we assume people will become adult in 18 and they will just start getting income by themselves with their own decisions, not with enforcement of their family, after they pass the year 18, after they are older than 18, basically. Especially if the job replaces the education completely. So that's one option. After the person gets adult, that person can immediately start a job and starts to earn income. There's alternative option is basically getting for 4 years in the college without getting any income. You might even need to pay some money, but at least you won't get an income. but then get a job as a university graduate and probably get a higher income after that. Of course, since the person will compare the income as income he will earn as a high school graduate and income he will earn as a university graduate, we assume the calculation the person makes in his or her mind compares his or her whole life stream income with college degree and without college degree. And here, of course, we need now the present value formulation to get the value he or she gives to the to his or her income with and without college degree. So the high school income of the person can be basically formulated actually in this way. The present value of the income starting from the year 18 to n, and the income is high school. Well, the income he will earn as a or she will earn as a high school graduate. Again, this he makes this comparison with before he makes that decision. So he calculates or she calculates his or her potential income without with just high school degree or without a college degree. And this is the income again he or she will earn as a college graduate. Again from year 18 to n. And as long as, well, actually I have mentioned that the person might still work at the college, maybe in a part-time job, and he or she might have a partial income, but still, as long as the person is in college, of course, that income will be less than high school income, and potentially it might even be zero. But once the person graduates, this income is expected to be higher. Also, the university graduates, as they continue to work in the same profession, they are expected to get promotions. Their experience expected to be valued more, and so the income they got is expected to increase, while the high school graduates, well, even when they work for a long time in the same sector, they don't. The income they got might still increase to some extent, but that increase is expected to be less than the increase in the less than the increase the person can get as a university graduate. Those things could be tested, by the way. I mean, those assumptions, but university graduates assume to be better off in both initial income they got and the rate of increase of their income once they graduate from the university. So, present value of education is basically the decrease, the subtraction of the income, the present value of the income the person will get throughout his life if he gets college degree, and the income he or she will get as a high school graduate. So basically the difference between the income the person will get with or without the college degree is the present value of the education, or the value of education, basically. For example, if the present value of education, the income the person will get is, let's say $1,000, or let's say $100,000, while the present value of the income the person will get without education is $8,000, then $20,000 is the value of education. Well, this means as long as the price of education is less than $20,000, the person will get the education. If it is free, of course, it will get the person will get education, because I mean, education is something valuable, something worth $20,000 for that person, and if he can get it freely, something that is valuable for that person, he will get free. But that person is also willing to pay money up to $20,000 for that education.